Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Kauffman, and I'm excited to speak with you today about our lead product, Selinexor. Selinexor is an experimental oral therapy which we're developing in multiple myeloma, diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, and several other cancers. We've had a very busy ASH. We featured a number of new findings for multiple myeloma, also in myelodysplastic syndrome, combination therapy, and DLBCL as well. Let me focus today, of course, on multiple myeloma. Our main abstracts came out today. We had oral presentations. The drug is called Selinexor. This is a drug that you can take at home. It's a completely novel mechanism for treating cancer. Selinexor works by restoring tumor suppressor proteins to the cell nucleus and reactivating their anti-cancer function. This is a new approach to cancer. It has broad applicability across multiple cancers, and our most advanced programs are in multiple myeloma. We presented our final data for the STORM clinical trial, which was a phase 2b study in patients with heavily pretreated, so-called penta-exposed, triple-class refractory multiple myeloma. This was presented by Dr. Ajit Chari of the Mount Sinai School of Medicine today from New York. And what we found in that trial was that in patients whose disease had unfortunately progressed despite essentially all available therapies, they had a median of 7 prior therapeutic regimens, about 10 different anti-myeloma regimens, and really had no known therapy of any benefit, and approximately 1.7 to 3.5 months to live on average. That Selinexor could arrest the disease in most of the patients, induced a 26% overall response rate that was adjudicated by an expert panel of 4 myeloma physicians. Duration of response was a median of 4.4 months. And importantly, the overall survival in the trial, instead of that 1.7 to 3.5 months, was 8.6 months. But when you break it down and look at survival of patients that had at least a minimal response, that is, about 39% of the patients had at least a minimal response, they lived an average of 15.4 months as compared to the 1.7 months for our patients who had no response to Selinexor and had to come off the drug very quickly to either get other therapy or unfortunately go to hospice care. So we think that overall this was a very exciting time for these patients who really have exhausted available agents. The main side effects of Selinexor, and we do hear lots of questions about that. Again, this is an oral therapy. You can take it home. Main side effects are nausea, anorexia, which means low appetite, fatigue, and low platelet counts. These side effects are generally reversible. They didn't lead to catastrophic outcomes. They were mostly low grade, and we can prevent them in a large number of cases either by reducing the dose or by adding standard supportive care agents. And doctors were able to really help the patients get through this. And most of these side effects go down or go away in the first 6 to 8 weeks of therapy. So if you can get over that initial time, you tend to do well. And keep in mind, these patients have disease which is rapidly progressive coming in, and we had to arrest therapy. I think even more exciting than the single-agent study is the fact that we are submitting this study for accelerated approval by FDA. We've actually submitted the new drug application to FDA already, and we have an action, so-called action date by FDA of April 6th of 2019. So hopefully within the next 5 or 6 months, we'll have action by the FDA to bring this drug to the market for patients with multiple myeloma. Now, I'll just comment quickly on a couple of other studies that we announced today at ASH. And I think as exciting as the single-agent study is with Selinexor, is really that we use drugs in myeloma in combination. And this tends to provide the most efficacy for patients and potentially the lower side effects, because we tend to use drugs in lower levels when we combine them together. And in fact, we had an oral presentation today from Dr. Cristina Gasparetta from the Duke University School of Medicine with a combination of Selinexor once a week with Darzalex, daratumumab. Normally Selinexor, when it's given alone, is given twice a week and in a high dose. But we're able to give it in the same dose, but only once a week, so about half the drug. And the side effects tend to go down substantially. Importantly, when you combine Selinexor with daratumumab in patients who have disease that's refractory to an IMiD and a proteasome inhibitor, you get about a 79% response rate and a progression-free survival and an overall duration of response that have not been reached and are over 9 months. So this indicates that we can use less selinexor to combine very synergistically with daratumumab, and it appears that this combination is very much more heavily active than either of the two agents when used separately. And finally, in myeloma, we had a poster session on Friday where we presented data that the all-oral combination of selinexor plus Pomalyst or pomalidomide and dexamethasone, all oral, could approximately double the response rate of Pomalyst itself, which is about 29%. We had a 54% response rate and a progression-free survival, which was more than 3 times higher than the 3 to 4 month PFS expected for Pomalyst itself. That's again using selinexor at low doses once a week in combination with oral Pomalyst. So selinexor, a new mechanism of action, oral administration, side effects that are easily supported and reduced and are reversible, combined with some of the more active agents in multiple myeloma, giving patients the potential to achieve better outcomes even when their disease has progressed with available agents. Thanks very much, and look forward to working with you in the future.